So can you talk to me about the cuts to health coverage
Mhm,
and the how of them? So
mhm.
how are these cuts happening?
Yeah. So again, there are sort of two buckets of cuts, some targeted at the Medicaid program and some targeted at the health insurance marketplaces. About three-quarters of the impact is coming from the Medicaid provisions.
Okay.
Within that, the one of the big provisions is what's often called a work requirement, and that's being applied to the Medicaid program. So people, in order to get their Medicaid coverage, are going to be required to show that they're either working or that they fall into one of several exemption categories, like they're going to school or they have certain types of health conditions or so on and so forth, or they'll be disenrolled from the program.
Uh-huh.
That will directly cause some people to lose eligibility for Medicaid coverage, although the number of people who will actually lose eligibility is probably fairly small because most Medicaid recipients are already working or fall into one of the exemption categories in the law. What we have seen, though, when states have implemented similar requirements, is many people who are actually in compliance with the requirement have real trouble getting through the sort of paperwork process with the state to demonstrate that they actually are in compliance. And so they end up losing coverage anyway, even though, in fact, they're still eligible.
Hmm.
So that is where the bulk of the effect on insurance coverage from this type of policy comes from. There are some people who are losing coverage because, they recently lost a job and so they're no longer working and so they're not in compliance with the requirement. And then there are a lot more people who lose coverage because, they are working or they are enrolled in an education program, but they have trouble getting through the state's administrative process to actually document that fact.
Hey, I'm Hannah Cole, owner of Sunlight Tax, and I help creative, self-employed people like you understand their taxes and how to do the hard stuff so you can get back to your amazing work. You can find everything you need at sunlighttax.com.